All right, when I use the word bench when talking about the Suns, I don't know if you feel the same way. I don't. I think of the bench as anybody who's not Bradley Beal, Devin Booker, or Kevin Durant. And I know that's not accurate. I get that. There are two other starters. I guess
you think of Bradley. You think of Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen.
But like,
and right, do you find it somewhat fascinating that KD's out and not starting a Royce O'Neal or a Grayson Allen? They're going to Dunn to keep those guys in their familiar role of you're going to come off. Because Dunn started. Royce O'Neal and Grayson Allen played more minutes than him last night.
Sure, of course. Yeah.
But Dunn started. It's not like let's throw a bone to the veteran guys and give Royce the start or give Grayson the start. It's like we're going to start Ryan Dunn in this game with KD out.
Yeah, I think it's deliberate. I think there's intent behind it. And the intention is to keep Royce O'Neal in that sixth man role and Grayson Allen. I mean, they're basically like co-sixth men. It was great to see Grayson Allen have a good game last night. I guess I'm just thinking of...
That's what happens after you come on the show.
He was a guest last week when I was gone. Yes, yeah. I heard about that. I think of... Okay, Tyus doesn't belong in this conversation. He's clearly a starter on this team. It feels just like everybody else is a part of this supporting cast of the Suns. And I guess seeing Drew Eubanks again last night is just another kind of not so gentle reminder of how lousy it was last year in terms of the support. Not just him. I mean, just the supporting cast in general. Yeah. Boy, did they, for the most part, get that so wrong last year. And boy, have they.
You want to start with? You want to start with Keita Bates-Diop?
Well, let's just start with guys who are in the league.
Utah
right?
Watanabe?
Yeah, let's say.
Shemezi.
Metu? Yeah.
What was the other guy's name? Azubukwe?
Azubuike,
Metu, Keita Bates-Diop, Watanabe.
All those guys.
It was Eubanks.
Half of whom aren't even in the league anymore.
It was terrible.
The upgrade that the Phoenix Suns have made for their players who aren't the big three, it's stunning. It's stunning how much better I feel when Devin Booker and four of those guys are out on the floor together than I would have at any point last year when Devin Booker and four guys not named Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal were out there with them.
I'm going to be honest with you, too. I think that they're much better off with Eric Gordon gone. And I like Eric Gordon. He's a good player. But he's slow and he can't defend. And he's so slow. Like, he can shoot the ball. But you don't need that on this team. You have shooters everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, I think... Like, when I reported that Eubanks and Gordon weren't coming back way before... those guys declined their options, it was because those guys weren't coming back. I mean, I don't know what they did to make them not come back, but maybe they told Drew Eubanks, you know the guy that punched you in the face? We're going to sign him if you come back. He's going to be on this roster. Well, I'm going to put his locker next to yours. Like, they didn't want those guys
I think
back.
That's all you have to say to them. Honestly, I mean, like, who's going to be somewhere where they're not wanted? Hey, you could pick up that option. I'm just telling you right now, we don't want you back. We don't want you back. You're not going to play. You're not going to play.
You're not going to play.
You're not going to play. You don't.
This isn't a Jordan Montgomery $22.5 million option. It's a vet minimum.
Yeah.
You've got an option to come back. Go somewhere else where you can play.
Yep, exactly.
You're not going to play here.
And because at a vet minimum, we can cut you and we'll just sign another vet minimum. So you're not going to play here. So leave. And that's how you do it. And you do it, politely. You do it respectfully, however you want to say it. But that's what you do. I don't disagree with you about Eric Gordon. I mean, I miss his shooting. I don't miss just about everything else about him. He was just so unathletic out there. I think, too, the benefit to the role players this year compared to last year is a full year of Royce O'Neal. Boy, you just see it every night, don't you? Did you see his stat sheet last night? He stuffed it. He had 3 blocks. He had 4 rebounds. He had 2 assists.
The only time I think I've seen him struggle this year was in that that game against Sacramento where he just couldn't defend DeRozan.
Yeah,
but other than that, like, he's undersized. But he's a hard-nosed, tough player.
Plays with a high motor, a lot of intensity. He gets open looks. He drills a bunch of them. I think he hit 2 more 3-pointers last night. I think this role player conversation, and look, we could talk about Mason Plumlee, we could talk about Ryan Dunn, we could talk about Grayson Allen, we could talk about Royce O'Neal.
The only guys that didn't play were Damian Lee and Bobo.
Yep.
Those 2 guys did not play.
Yeah.
Bobo's back to where he was last year. Like,
yep.
You're going to have to wait and be patient and wait and be patient. But they're deeper now than they were last year. They're deeper than they've ever been before. Your starting center goes down. You got 2 guys capable of handling the load. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. Plumlee's big and strong, and he can handle the bigger. And then you've got Oso comes in, change the pace. Like, there was a story about what are the Suns going to do with Monty Morris that I read today. Like, is he going to be a guy you trade him? He can't find any playing time.
Last night was the first night he got minutes in a couple of weeks because there's no room at the end for him.
So do you trade him for a second-round pick and just try to get another second-rounder?
I don't know.
Or do you keep him as an insurance policy because if something ever happened to Tyus, you want to have a guy
It's
there.
a good question because he has not been able to. I think November 2nd was the last time he even got into a game. Look at his minutes. He's barely playing, right? Because they just, between Tyus doing what he's doing and Devin Booker doing his kind of point book things and Bradley Beal, like there's just not. And didn't we kind of know that was going to happen to somebody, right? Like you were looking
you guys
at the players who were going to get minutes and you're thinking somebody's minutes are getting cut here. Somebody's not going to play a whole lot. And to be fair to Monty Morris, I think before they got Tyus Jones, they were really looking at Monty Morris as a guy who was going to get some minutes and who was going to. And then
15 to 18 a game.
When Tyus Jones fell in their lap, it's like, hey,
you're not going to play.
Sorry, you're not going to play. Thanks for coming here.
And they're not blowing anybody out, so every game's close. So there's no garbage time where you can say, hey, I'm going to give you guys 6-minute run in the fourth quarter because we're up by 24. They don't do that. Every game has been a one-score game except for one.
Thanks for watching Burns and Gambo. Click to see more from the guys and hit the button in the middle to subscribe so you never miss a video from Arizona sports.